Hi, I'm State Representative Justin Chenette in beautiful North Saco with this legislative update. There's a lot going on in Augusta and things are moving pretty quickly right now. We are in the middle of the budget season, at the end of the legislative season, and so some of the things that you've probably been seeing in the news are in relation to the hospital repayment plan, accepting federal money for an expansion of Medicaid, and the liquor contract. It is something that the Democrats believe that we need to do all three things. So we put in a bill to do all three things. The Republicans wanted to separate them, and it's looking like more and more with the governor's veto that we're going to have separate bills. One to tackle the liquor contract, one to subsequently in hospital repayment, and then another accepting federal money to ensure that nearly 70,000 low-income Mainers have the ability to get health care insurance, which is a fundamental right. And so it's critically important that we pay our bills, that hospitals are paid what they're owed, which is almost $500 million, which is absolutely ridiculous that it's been going on this long. Any legislature in the past that touted a balanced budget should really reflect back and say, you know what, you didn't pay your bills, and now we're going to pay them. And the Democrats are committed to that, the Republicans are committed to that, and we're actually bringing people together on that particular issue. So you're going to be seeing very shortly both things being accomplished. The liquor contract being tied to hospital repayment, which is a great deal for Maine in the long run. We're negotiating a great deal. The Veterans and Legal Affairs Committee did a great job in negotiating that new contract, so that's going to pass, no doubt. And then we're going to have a debate, obviously, on the expansion of Medicaid and accepting federal money. So for the first 3 years, the federal government is going to pay 100% of this expansion. After that, we can either opt out if it's not working or stay in it and have to pay up to 10% of the total cost up through 2020 is when we'll have to really pay the full 10%, but the federal government will still pay 90%. But I think the critical piece here is that we're going to ensure that Mainers have access to quality and affordable health care, while at the same time recognizing that we're only going to have to pay after the first 3 years, and we can opt out at any time. So I think we're really moving forward in a good direction. Aside from that, a lot of other bills that we're tackling, we just had a big debate over vaccinations and whether or not it should be transparent in terms of the individual ingredients on vaccinations. It passed the House but not the Senate, so it's probably going to die in non-concurrence, but it's something that it kind of goes along with this theme of opening up the process and ensuring that you can have a proactive approach to your healthcare decisions. In addition, we're having a debate of whether or not we should open up the whole process in terms of the legislative public hearings and the video sessions that are already streamed live, but archive them so that you, after a busy day, can go back and review some of the very interesting debates that we do have in the legislature. Now, on the more local level, which I think is really important to mention, we have an election on June 11th. Now, this is both for a school budget referendum, which is critically important. Also, it asks the question, do you want to continue to vote on school budgets for the next 3 years? And in particular, there's also another piece to this. There's a bond referendum to ensure that $1.7 million is allocated to repairing and restoring the Stackpole Bridge. Now, if you don't know the Stackpole Bridge, you can visit stackpolebridge.org to learn more, but essentially it is the bridge between Simpson Road on the Saco side and on the Buxton side. So there might be a few hundred people that utilize this bridge, so you may have not actually traveled it, but it's of critical importance because the bridge is currently closed because it's structurally not sound. But this bridge was built in 1848. It is the oldest dry stone bridge in the entire state. So from a historical perspective, we need to preserve it, but also we need to be fiscally responsible, especially for Saco taxpayers that have been increasingly burdened, especially for their property taxes. So this bond actually takes both into account, ensures that we are investing in our infrastructure so we don't end up like in other places where we have bridges collapsing and killing people, that we're actually investing in our aging infrastructure while recognizing the cultural importance of our history. So I urge everybody to go out to the polls and vote on June 11th. If you want to vote beforehand, you can. You can fill out an absentee ballot over at Saco City Hall. I'm Representative Justin Chenette in beautiful North Saco with this legislative update. Stay tuned and stay connected.